The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus.
The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus. In a world of espionage, truth is a moving target and every decision carries a dangerous consequence. This new mission explores what it means to live as a double agent, twice the lies, twice the risk. The lines between ally and enemy blur like never before, and survival depends on trusting no one. Starring Michael Fassbender, Jeffrey Wright, Jodie Turner-Smith, and Richard Gere. Don't miss The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus.
You don't need to live with aches and pains. Visit relieffactor.com today.
Oh, and now...
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the Rob Carson Show, and by the grace of God, it is finally Friday! Come on! Moving on to the side. We finally got a piece of the moving to the Newsmax studios in D.C. today.
Fish don't fry in the kitchen. A bean don't burn on the grill.
Took a whole lot of trying just to get up that hill. Here we go. Now we're up in the big leagues, taking our turn at bat. As long as we live, it's you and me, baby. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
We're moving on up.
Come on.
To the side. To a deluxe apartment in the sky. We're moving on up. To the side. We finally got a piece of the pie.
There you go. There you go. Today, I'm moving into the Newsmax building in Washington, D.C. In Washington, D.C.! This is crazy! I want to I wanted to open the show with that today because those of you who've been with this show for all the years I've been doing this, and I've been with Newsmax over 6 years. I'm like one of the longest full-time on-air hosts Newsmax has, by the way. And about a year ago, I packed everything in a U-Haul and the back of my truck, my Bronco Buck, and I moved my studio in a U-Haul and assembled it in this studio in Alexandria, Virginia, and began a broadcast and built this studio before, of course, because God has a great sense of humor, it's kind of dark, they said the building was going to be torn down. So Ralph Renzi, he's the new head of Newsmax podcasting and audio. He, a couple months ago, said, hey, man, why don't you move into the Newsmax building? And I went, oh, my God, this is a dream come true. Because for the last nearly 7 years, I've been doing this show in a room by myself. In this room where I am now, there are lights in front of me and then darkness beyond that. And so I have felt you here. You can see your presence on the chats. I can feel your presence for those of you listening on our great affiliate stations. And from a guy who just a few years ago was knocking on death's door and selling cars for a living, look what's happened. Look what's happened. This was the biggest gamble and roll of the dice in my entire life. I did not expect to be divorced. I expected to be married the rest of my life. But I realized that I was being guided here. I believe this. You know, my producer, Redneck MacGyver, Ken, he said the same thing. I really feel like I was guided here by you. And I have learned so much in the last couple of years, despite the heartache and the roller coasters that I've been through. I've had wonderful miracles happening, and I've had terrible tragedies happen. But now I'm moving to the Newsmax building, and Chris Ruddy, I'm eternally grateful to him for discovering a guy and calling me one Sunday when I was selling cars because I was bugging the hell out of him on LinkedIn with my podcast. And so we went from that to about a year later having dinner at Mar-a-Lago and meeting Donald Trump, and Donald Trump saying, I'm the funniest guy on television, and telling Chris Riddy, don't get rid of this guy in a funny and kind of threatening manner. And we've been doing it ever since. So, point of personal privilege here. I hope you don't mind. We're moving into D.C. And the interesting thing is we're in a temporary facility over there because in November we're moving to a new Newsmax facility. So I get to move again in November. It is just amazing. It is just amazing. Let's get this show started with a little bit of Graham Platner.
Graham Platner is the real deal. He's a fighter, and he's ready to take that fight to Washington. Graham Platner has the grit to go against the brain and to fight for what is...
Go against the brain? Did she say go against the brain?
That's right. That's the energy, that's the fighting spirit that the Democratic
He's a fighter. He'll never give up.
Party needs now more than ever.
We are suspending campaign operations.
Oh. Well, that was a little abrupt. They're a little abrupt. Yeah, you know, it's interesting. The media, for the first time ever, are being contrite about a gigantic they're couching it as a mistake. They knew exactly what was going on. The Democrat Party knew exactly what was going on with Graham Platner. It's just become so massive, scandalous, embarrassing that they have to act like they're on the right side of all of this when they're not. This is CBS. This is BS.
The big question tonight is why did so many in the Democratic Party, the party of Black Lives Matter and Believe Women, continue to see Graham Platner as a future star?
Listen to this. This is CBS.
Despite scandal after scandal that seem to undermine those principles and more. Despite his old Reddit comments about, among other things, why Platner thinks black people don't tip. Despite his chest tattoo with the Nazi history.
Yeah, there was that.
And despite the accusations of abuse against women.
Yeah.
Through all of that and more, Platner downplayed or denied the claims and was...
Because they're all lies, all of those things that just suddenly came up that with the hundreds of witnesses. It's all lies.
Defended by the party and some of its biggest voices.
I do believe people should have second chances.
If this is a character election, the incumbent has a lot to answer for as well.
I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that Graham Platner is the next...
What the hell does Susan Collins have to answer for? My God in heaven, she's like Mother Teresa.
Senator from the state of Maine.
So what's behind all that support for him until now? Could it simply be that he was winning? That he had blown out the sitting governor in the Democratic
Ding, 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 ding. They thought he could win.
Primary, and sure seemed like the Democrats' best chance to beat Maine's Republican Senator Susan Collins.
Yeah. They tried the seances to conjure Satan, but he wouldn't answer, so they went ahead with Graham Platner. Yeah, they thought he could win. They did this with Joe Biden. They would have wheeled his corpse across the finish line. They would have wheeled his corpse across the finish line. Kind of doing that right now with Mitch McConnell, by the way. But they would have elected Satan himself if they thought he could win. And they thought, because of the massive turnout in Maine by bat guano crazy academic white Mainers, that he was going to go all the way, and he started losing. He was behind in the polls by 4 points minimum, which, by the way, would mean probably in November a 20-point loss. So they got rid of him. The party got rid of him.
In political circles, the answer, it appears, was yes. Many Democrats knew Platner had character issues. The theory from Daniel Moraff, the political strategist who plucked Platner from obscurity and made him into a star, was that the voters wouldn't care, that they wanted, quote, real people who have lived real lives.
I mean, we want people who didn't run for student council.
That guy right there, that creepy guy, apparently there are some sexual harassment allegations against him. He's the most unsexual person I could imagine.
Right. We want people who have not been spending their entire lives planning their ascent to political power.
But after Platner was accused of rape this week, it turned out that theory had its limits.
Wow.
Character does matter. Platner denied the accusation.
No, character did not and still doesn't matter to Democrats.
But for some Democrats, he had committed the one offense no political party can tolerate. He started to look like a loser.
He was going to lose. That is CBS. Oh, my God, that is CBS. That is so amazing. Thank you, Barry Weiss. You're doing a great job over there. Here is John Fetterman. This is the line. This could be maybe the soundbite of the week. There's so many soundbites to choose from, to be quite honest. But here's Fetterman talking about Platner leaving.
Trash took itself out.
Yeah, the trash took itself out.
Trash took itself out. You know, threw it out. Yeah. And now he leaves an accused rapist.
Yeah.
He's the guy that he'll be remembered.
Apparently the thing that got him to leave is the state prosecutor was threatening criminal charges against him. That's how ingrained the Democrat Party is. They said, basically, you drop out or we're going to bring rape charges against you. Now, what's really sickening about this is that they used it just to get him allegedly out of the race. And presumably, I would assume, and now that he's dropped out, they're not going to pursue the charges. That's gross.
A guy that spent 10
It's okay if you're going to drop out. Rape away.
years and kick the platform that's the predator's paradise. He now defiled his marriage and sent sexual messages to women as a newlywed.
Yeah, nice,
you know, and all the things he said. Now he gets to go away. He can go back online. He can go around doing all the kinds of things. But the trash took itself out.
That is fantastic. Oh my gosh. There's a rumor that John Fetterman could be leaving the Democrat Party. And what did I say? I said that the Democrat Party would have to reinvent itself or disappear into the dustbin of history. And they're doing the sweeping. They're doing the sweeping. But here's the thing. Here is Joe Scarborough. He says that those psychotic, crazy cat lady academic liberals and the emasculated men in their lives still want Platner.
I will say this, and this is just a word of warning to Democrats in Washington, D.C. Graham Platner was losing support with independents, no doubt about it. But I will tell you, Meek and I have heard nothing. Let me underline that. Nothing,
I hear nothing
but support from Maine Democrats on the ground for Platner.
Try to give an idea what sort of people they are. Yeah.
Platner signs are still up.
Wow.
They think that this is Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries.
I wouldn't put a Platner sign in my front lawn if I had a young daughter living there.
And the Washington establishment.
He might stop by for a campaign visit.
Coming to get him. They all have the same story. They started hearing 10 days ago that people were coming up to Maine and they were desperate to try to get Platner off the ballot because they thought Susan Collins had too much on him and would destroy him. I will tell you, without revealing any names, that we have been bombarded by phone calls and text messages from people who want Graham Platner off the ballot, who are high up in Maine politics, and we've been getting that for the last 2 weeks.
There you go. Put him right back in. Put him in. Please put him in. Put him in. Although the roster of candidates, the leading guy is supported by the Democrat Socialists, and he is not ready for prime time. We have got such a glorious show ready to go today. So if you want to chime in, 800-922-6680. This is the Rob Carson Show.
WCBM.
He said WCGA.
The Rob Carson Show podcast is everywhere. Go to newsmax.com/listen for details.
Taking a step back, anyone with half a brain could have seen this thing coming. Okay, this was a car accident waiting to happen. How many pieces of evidence did we need to understand that Graham Platner should not be the Democratic nominee in this U.S. Senate race? Okay, how was the Nazi tattoo not enough?
You'd think.
How was the fabrication of his biography not enough? How were the other credible allegations of sexual assault in the months leading up to this latest discovery not enough? I mean, this is extraordinary.
Yeah. I've never heard a contrition from the Democrat Party. I don't know what this is about. Maybe they feel like nationally it has done so much damage to the party, exposing to everyone that there are no lows that the Democrat Party will not go to get someone office. Everybody looks like fools. Liz Warren looks like fools. Hakeem Jeffries, they all look like fools. A lot of people started bailing a while ago, but some stuck around, and it is utterly embarrassing for the party, to be quite honest. However, Maine Democrats are like, it was not our choice to get rid of him. We should have kept him. This is Democrat Representative Shelley Pingree saying, stay the hell out of Maine's business.
Just stay away and stop writing all your dumbass columns on the internet and telling us what we should be doing. And don't call me anymore. I don't want to hear your ideas about, why we're not doing it well enough. And, that's just not how we do it here. And Devin made a really good point. We're independent. We don't like to be told what to do, and we're not stupid.
And we like our sexual predators with Nazi tattoos. So mind your own business. This is embarrassing. Yeah. That's just. I mean, honestly, I like the show Maine Cabin Masters. I love that show. A bunch of kind of ex-hippies going out and redoing these. They call them camps up there in Maine. They call them camps. They don't call them cabins. They call them camps. And they're kind of hippy-dippy. They wear Grateful Dead stuff, but they're like Maine rednecks, liberal rednecks. It's kind of weird. But they're making Maine look just damn foolish, honestly. Just absolutely foolish. Here is Ro Khanna just a week ago. And again, maybe it's because the Democrat Party look so foolish and have exposed themselves again as willing to vote in Satan if necessary, even knowing that if Satan is voted in, he will destroy the world and all humanity. But they got a seat, all right? They got a seat. Here's Ro Khanna.
Because Democrats believe in respecting the equality and the dignity of women, and we always will. And we reject, unequivocally, misogyny. We reject it. But you know who else rejects it? Graham Platner. Those years that he came back,
oh my God,
were not the best years of his life. He was ashamed of some of the things he said and did. And then he, unlike others, took accountability for it. We need to find some way of having grace.
They were talking about redemption. The Democrat Party was talking about redemption. I know, funny, right?
We need to find some way of having redemption.
Yeah. Oh.
We need to find some way of saying that if someone felt hurt by Graham in a past relationship, we can listen to them and we can listen to Graham and we can have conversations.
Oh yeah, they were just all in. They look so stupid. They just look so stupid. Here's the guy that is supposedly like the front runner. His name is Troy Jackson. He is not ready for primetime. He was on with Katie Tur, with CNN, and was being asked, hey man, I mean, why did you stick with Graham Platner through all of this? And he has such a non-answer. It shows that he's a rube.
Why did you stick with him for so long? Why did you stick with him after the Nazi tattoo? Why did you stick with him after the New York Times article and the aggressive women stuff? Stick with him after the Reddit posts that were arguably racist and sexist. I know he denies the sexual misconduct allegations, but why did you stay with him for so long?
Listen.
Well, the Nazi tattoo and the Reddit posts, I mean, I didn't know. I mean, I haven't even ever been on Reddit. But, you know, when people talked about those things, and he turned around and said, you know, that these were times whenever they were dark for him and, you know, he'd grown and all this stuff. I mean, they were, you know, a different time period for him, and I understood, you know, that people can change.
Congratulations on your next term in the Senate, Susan Collins. That is fantastic. Yeah. You know, we wouldn't be celebrating America 250 if it wasn't for a strong foundation set by the founders. Hamilton built America's financial foundation on a principle of sound, stable money, a principle embodied by the gold standard. They, of course, abandoned that in 1971. Your dollar's worth a lot less. What is the foundation of your savings? Do you have some gold in your foundation? You should. Birch Gold is the company that I choose. Birch Gold has been helping Americans solidify their savings with gold for the past 15 years. They did it for me. They can do it for you. Learn how gold fits into your portfolio by texting my name, Rob, to the number 989898. That's Rob to 9898. A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Countless 5-star reviews. Let Birch Gold help you build your foundation with gold. Text my name, Rob, to the number 989898. That's Rob to 989898. The one and only Mary Walter joins us next. I guarantee it's going to be awesome. Don't go anywhere.
The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus.
The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus. In a world of espionage, truth is a moving target and every decision carries a dangerous consequence. This new mission explores what it means to live as a double agent, twice the lies, twice the risk. The lines between ally and enemy blur like never before, and survival depends on trusting no one. Starring Michael Fassbender, Jeffrey Wright, Jodie Turner-Smith, and Richard Gere. Don't miss The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus.
Hi, it's Tony Marino, host of the super popular Newsmax Daily Podcast, a rundown of the day's top headlines and top highlights of Newsmax shows and interviews you may have missed, plus some sports, stock markets, and even some yucks, all packed into about 20 minutes. Search for the Newsmax Daily with me, Tony Marino, on your favorite podcast platform, and check out our entire lineup of great podcasts, including Greg Kelly, Rob Carson, and Jerry Callahan at newsmax.com/listen.
I make the Democrats look incredibly dumb. Inflation is down, the economy's starting to hum. Still, it's a real good bet, the best is yet to come. Best is yet to come since we bombed Iran. Taking out all their nukes, that was part of the plan. The border's secure once again. Illegals are getting in. Doge has saved us billions. This is what it's like to win. Best is yet to come, and it's gonna be fine. Best is yet to come. Hear the Democrats whine. Listen to them whine. The last laugh is mine.
Hey guys, it's Carson for Ghost Bed. Do you really want another summer like last summer, barely sleeping because you were too hot all night? People blame summer heat for bad sleep when it really may be their mattress trapping heat. And if you already sleep hot, summer only makes it worse. That's why I switched to Ghost Bed. Helps keep you cool all night, no waking up sweaty, tossing and turning, or throwing the covers off at 2 a.m. Cooling tech is built into every mattress. It's not some expensive upgrade you have to pay extra for. Hot sleepers are some of GhostBed's happiest customers. Read the reviews. You get incredible support, less stiffness, deeper sleep, more rested mornings. I got my GhostBed about 6 months ago, and it changed my life. GhostBed gives you 101 nights to try it at home. You can sleep on it all summer long and feel the difference for yourself. How many more summers are you going to waste on bad sleep? GhostBed is currently having their 4th of July sale, offering my audience an extra 10% off. Go to ghostbed.com/Carson. Use the promo code Carson. That's ghostbed.com/Carson, promo code Carson. For 250 years, Americans have believed in one powerful idea, that we were meant to live free. Free to work hard, free to move, free to enjoy life without being held back. But if everyday aches and pains are slowing you down, might be time to declare your independence from pain. I take Relief Factor. There's a reason why at my age I'm able to crush it at the gym and ride 30 miles on a mountain bike on Saturday mornings. Relief Factor. It's 100% drug-free, research-based formula designed to help your body fight inflammation, one of the root causes of pain. It's not a quick fix or a temporary mask. It works from inside out at the source. Relief Factor was created so people could get back to living life on their terms, walking, working, exercising, enjoying the moments that matter. This year, as we celebrate 250 years of American independence, take a stand for your own freedom. To commemorate, they're offering a special patriotic price, just $17.76. Yeah, your $17.76 3-week quick start is ready for you. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4-RELIEF. ReliefFactor.com or 800-4-RELIEF.
Now back to the Rob Carson Show, presented by Paramount Plus.
2, 1. But there's something about Mary that they don't know. Mary. There's just something about Mary.
Which leaves the door open to a lot of speculation. Yeah. Joining us on the Newsmax hotline from Mary Walter Radio, ladies and gentlemen, Mary Walter, how are you doing this Friday?
Happy Friday. How are you?
I'm glorious. I've just been very busy moving, and I just texted you a few minutes ago because I've not had a chance to ask you what you want to talk about today. And you said, how about you talk about why you built a studio? And I'll just explain. When I moved here a year ago, I expected the studio would be around a while longer, and then I'm getting booted wicked early. But I look at it as a great opportunity, as a test run is what it is, and that's why I built the studio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, but if I would like it noted that you and I had many conversations, and I said to you, why are you spending all this money on this, this beautiful desk and this studio, and you're spending all this time, and you're doing all this stuff? Yeah. Well, the Newsmax studio is right there, and you're spending all this money.
Because I hadn't been invited. I had not been invited by Newsmax to be in their studio.
Did you ask them?
Yeah, but I mean, there was not even a possibility because I moved here of my own volition. I did not move here because Newsmax asked me to move here. And I would not expect Newsmax to say, oh, one of our employees has just decided to move here. Let's build a studio for him. So I said I had an opportunity. It was given to me. Mom? Really, Mom? Are we going to go there, Mom?
Hold on. How many guests have you had sit on those beautiful chairs you bought?
Sunshine. The opportunity, a lot of things changed. Yeah. But I am very proud. I'm very proud of what I've done here. What?
Listen, I think what you did is great.
Yeah.
But as I said to you, but I just think it was a little early, and I said, and I understand you have these big plans. But as I said to you, I said, because I have a studio too, and it's upstairs in the 3rd floor servant's bathroom.
Oh, you've got a servant's bathroom? Well, stop it! Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, this house was built before income tax, okay? So I've got a little table from Costco.
Yeah.
With a microphone.
Well, you ain't Rob Carson. You ain't Rob Carson, baby.
I know.
That's all you need to know. You ain't Rob Carson.
Store all this stuff now.
You ain't Rob Carson.
Store all this stuff, don't you?
No, I don't. They're going to move the big desk into the Newsmax facility. Then they're going to move it over to the brand new one. While I'll have a dedicated space. There you go. Let's talk about other stuff. What do you suppose? The worst names in America to have right now are men and women. Worst names, according to a new survey in America. What's the worst man name, do you suppose?
Oh, gosh.
The one that is usually prejudged before every other name.
really hard. Because I think you judge with a lot of different names, right? Like you meet people in your life, and you're like, oh, Rob. I know a guy named Rob, and he's great. So you automatically think that's a good name. There are some ethnic names that I think, and this is what my mother said, because my dad's German. My mother was like, we'll give those kids middle names that are German, but their first names are going to be normal, and names that the kids can't mock. That's a really tough. Like whenever I hear about a girl named Bree, I always want to know if she has a sibling at home named Cheddar, right?
Yeah, I know.
That, right?
Yeah.
And some of them are like, oh, do you have a sibling at home named Kale? Like, it's just like people just make stuff up.
Yeah.
I hate the made-up names. And I also...
Do you ever get called Virgin Mary?
I had someone ask me in Israel, oh, and who are you named after? I'm like, what?
So the answer is Chad. Chad is a long fixture on the internet.
Chad. Yes, I see it, Chad.
It's a symbol of exaggerated male confidence. Right behind Rob, I guess.
I think the name, but in your case, Rob, it's not exaggerated.
Well, thank you. No, it's laughable.
All I can think of is the hanging Chad.
Oh,
right?
God, yes.
Right, but that's all I think, and that's why I think the name Chad went sideways.
Can you imagine how bad it would have been to be a Chad in like the year 2000? It would have been pretty. How's it hanging, Chad?
Right now.
How's it hanging, Chad? Karen is the name for women. It's the worst name, and I feel bad for Karens. Somebody came up with Karen. They decided to make Karen, a white liberal busybody. To make Gladys Kravitz. They should have named her Gladys.
Right, but think about that.
What?
Can you imagine if you came up with a name for a black female busybody?
Mm-hmm.
It would be considered racist.
Yeah.
Because you would pick a stereotypical black name, and it would be considered racist.
Yeah.
But it's okay to do it to a white woman.
Yeah, it is. It's a shame. Can you remember Hurricane Katrina? Katrina was a bad name to have when Hurricane Katrina happened. There was
Can I just say Katrina was probably a bad name before Katrina?
Oh, I don't know. I think Katrina's kind of cute.
Do you? I just think of a large woman who probably was on the East German swim team back in the day.
42% of Americans don't feel they embody the spirit of their own first name. Older generations report the weakest connection. Only 31% of Gen Xers like us and 29% of baby boomers said they strongly identify with their name. Me, I'm that way. I've got I use a fake name on the radio. My real name is Rob Hitler bin Laden. Younger respondents fared better. 44% of Gen Z, 40% of millennials say their first name feels like a genuine fit. There you go. How about you? Like your name?
When I was growing up, I hated my name because I didn't have a nickname. Both my brothers have longer names that are nicknames, and I always wanted a nickname.
Could have been Harry Mary. That would have been bad.
Well, I get Mayor, Bear, Mary. Like, but you don't. It's really nicknameless, So when I was a kid, I always wanted a nickname, never had one. And so I don't feel one way or the other. My name's just super easy.
Yeah.
And I had a Newsmax producer come on and go, and how do you pronounce your name? I'm like, Mary and Walter. They're like, okay, just checking. I'm like, what? Like, how do you have to check on that? I
think I'm going to start calling you Summer Steele from now on. Summer Steele on the radio. Yeah.
Like the 1970s radio.
I know.
That's hilarious.
I know. Hey, did you realize Buc-ee's? If you work at Buc-ee's, you can make a ton of money. You could make up to $275,000 a year with no college degree required. Did you know about that?
No, and I don't know what you would have to do. And I've never been in a Buc-ee's because they're so huge. I don't think there's enough undeveloped land left in the state of New Jersey to put one.
I went to the doctor the other day at a procedure, and the woman who was there, no, she drove across Virginia to go to Buc-ee's for dinner.
Got a lot of time on her hands.
I know. So the chain often says no experience necessary, but here's the deal. There was a sign out in front of a Buc-ee's, starting pay $20 an hour for cashiers, warehouse staff, grocery stockers, maintenance workers, restroom crew members, $25 an hour, team leaders, $23 and $28 an hour, department managers, $33 an hour, then assistant managers, $125 a year, food service managers, $150 and $200, overall store managers between $200 $275,000, healthcare, 3 weeks of paid time off, which I've never had in my life, and a 100% company match of 6% and an additional 2% for overnight shifts. Oh, my God, for 401k.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing.
Well, you know, in radio, you're a heartbeat away from working at a convenience store or waiting tables. So it's perfect.
100%.
It's perfect.
100%. But at this point in my life, I'm done in that vest, and I'm going to go be a greeter at Walmart.
Whatever the hell works.
That's
Whatever.
my next move.
You got what I call your steel. Yeah, you could have that.
Summer steel.
Summer steel at Walmart. You don't look like a summer. Anyway, coming up.
What does summer look like?
There is a new location where liberals are fleeing from to I should say, from New York and L.A., and it's causing a Catholicism boom. I'm going to share that on the other side of the break with Summer Steele, a.k.a. Mary Walter. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Joining us on the Newsmax hotline, formerly Mary Walter, now Summer Steele.
WMAQ Chicago.
What do you think?
It's so sturdy. Except I have to talk like this. I have to get it really right.
Yeah, hey, Summer Steele. Summer Steele, everybody. Oh, my gosh. I have worked at so many radio stations with jingles. Oh, swear to God. I remember I said I'd never work at a radio station with a jingle. Right out of the bat. Jingle package. Jingle package.
They all do it.
It's all right. Nothing wrong with the jingle. Nothing wrong with the jingle. So, affordable hotspot popular with Americans fleeing liberal New York and Los Angeles experiences a huge Catholicism boom. Phoenix, Arizona. has seen a sharp rise in Catholics, with the local diocese growing to more than 2 million parishioners in recent years. That's kind of interesting, isn't it?
That's interesting, because I do have friends who moved to Arizona, which I just think, I don't.
It's too damn hot.
It's just hot.
Even if it's a dry heat, screw that dry heat stuff. It's hot.
Yeah, it's like when people who go to Florida, it's like, no, the weather's fine. We just, you have air conditioning. I'm like, so you're never in the weather.
Yeah.
The weather's great because you're never in it. Same thing in Arizona. He says, but it's a dry heat. And I'm like, but it's dusty. And
No.
I don't like desert. I can see where the desert in some spaces is beautiful, but like just battling that dust all the time. I haven't had enough time with the dust naturally in the house.
We drove through, I went to Sedona, and we drove from Phoenix to Sedona, and you will die in that desert in like an hour. I mean, it's hell on earth out there. It's really scary out there.
Well, I guess you're not, they're not living in that area.
You would suppose, you would suppose.
Don't go on a hike if your husband says, hey, let's go on a hike.
Yeah.
You might not want to do that. Yeah, I don't see that. If that makes them happy, God bless them. As long as they're not bringing their politics, that's the problem.
And that's exactly
they
right.
New York City, Catholic or not, and they bring their politics, and that is the problem. They're spreading this crap all over the country.
They're like the aliens from Independence Day. The diocese saw a rise in adult confirmations, first communions. I don't see anything on possessions, Satan possessions. I think they stayed in New York.
Probably needed. They probably don't have their own
exorcisms and all. Now, people, here's what I think, and here's what I know. Actually, a national survey by the Archdiocese of Chicago found many converts were drawn to Catholicism by a personal hunger. Others cited the church's traditions, including its liturgy and history. I think it's the thing I like about it. It's not an insult to your intelligence, like a lot of these, these preachers wearing $5,000 suits and driving, Testarossas.
I think that in general, people want that structure back. We become so unstructured.
Yeah.
We become a society where there are no consequences for bad behavior. So we see bad behavior spread. We see a generation that's been brought up without fathers, without structure. And I think that generation, this is why I think you're seeing the younger generation spur this movement, because they want structure. They want tradition. We got rid of traditions. It's bad to do something that's traditionally American, because that, it's all the third world people who moved here. What about their traditions? So it kind of brings calm and order into a chaotic world for a lot of people.
Yeah. Also, let's not forget the aerobic exercise, because you got stand up, sit down, kneel, stand up, sit down, kneel. It's really, then sign the cross, stand up, sit down, kneel. It's really good, and you know why they do that? To make sure you don't fall asleep in the pew. Duh.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, but the other thing too is,
what?
And you're going an hour tops. Like, it's not one of these 2 to 3 hours.
Yes.
And it's the same everywhere you go. So if you go to mass when you're on vacation, if you go to mass in other places, it's the same service. So there's a continuity.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of comfort in that continuity,
100%.
that in a chaotic world,
100%.
there is something that's stable.
Now, let's talk about something that's on the radar news-wise, which is Graham Platner and the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party showing some sort of contrition, like, wow, we really screwed up. I think they just made such fools of themselves and showed that they would vote for Satan himself if they thought that Satan could win. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, okay, so I just think they didn't vet him. You saw those two idiots who were in charge of vetting him.
Oh, my
the guy
God.
who beat a trucker.
Oh, and he talked like this.
He was like, he had the vocal fry, and he was talking like a 13-year-old girl.
Oh, God.
But they're all soy boys.
Yes.
And they picked this guy. They picked him because he seems like he's very masculine, right?
Yeah.
And they were told to go find an alpha male.
Yes.
So they found an alpha male who's like out of control.
Yeah.
And they didn't vet him.
No.
But here's the beauty of all of this. Graham Platner has not filed the paperwork yet that he needs to file by 5 o'clock Monday.
Yes.
And I think he's going to make them squirm. We know that Mamdani's people went up there and met with him for a day or two before he made the video that he was going to drop out.
Yeah.
And so we know that the communists are involved in this. So it'd be interesting to see. I think he will file the paperwork. I think that's what he's been told. You're going to file the paperwork.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see if he runs on a different platform. But the guy whose name is being floated as the replacement, Troy Jackson, has his own problems.
Oh, my God, yes. And
right?
He's not ready for prime time either. He's not ready for prime time. If you hear this guy talk, he's a fool.
But his bigger problem, fool or not, is that he served in the Maine House or legislature, and he got frustrated with a female lawmaker, and apparently threw a bottle at her and hit her in the head with it. And there were multiple witnesses because he did it at the State House.
And there's also some financial issues, like legal issues as well.
Yeah, but those things don't bother them. They'll wipe right over that. They'll just blow right past that. You know, lots of Democrats have legal problems, and Letitia James, my daddy's my husband. Sorry, it's an honest mistake. I have two primary residents. So does Adam Schiff. It's a mistake. They get away with that.
Yeah.
But the throwing the bottle, and there are allegedly several witnesses who saw this. They're going to have a hard time with that.
Well, Maine voters want to keep him. That's what Joe Scarborough says. He's generally wrong about everything, but Maine voters want to keep him. I say keep him, and just watch him get destroyed. Get him destroyed. He's going to get destroyed. He was behind by 4 on Monday. It means that he's going to lose by 20 in November. There's no doubt about it. Mary Walter, we got to go. Tell everybody where they can find your awesomeness.
Well, later today, I will be on Newsmax at 1:30. I will be on Newsmax, and of course, just look for me on social media at Mary Walter Radio with no S, Mary Walter Radio.
All right, have a glorious day, Mary. Nice to talk to you, and a good weekend.
You too.
All right, let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. By the way, Brian, that guy from the radio station was legit.
Listen, are you a 50 looking
but,
for term life insurance?
I don't know. It wasn't planned. I told him, please relay that we can have him on Monday.
Of term life insurance for a couple of $100 a month. Look, you need to know there's a price war in the term life insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call Bob, and he'll shop and see how much money.
What about the streamers?
This could be the last term life insurance policy.
Thank you, Brian. I'm busy. Hi, guys. Otto Cannon, hello, Mary. Yeah, Mary's awesome. Mary's awesome. By the way, somebody said there was a moron on the chat, and I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of that moron. So, yeah. Bye-bye. I'm going to manage you. I'm going to manage you the hell out of here. Bye. Bye. We don't allow trolls here. We don't allow nonsense here. So I have the power. I have the power. I have the power. All right, hello. Who else is watching over here? Let's go to Bruce Alford. Bruce Alford watching on YouTube, and Merlin Wizard and Richard Ryan. Hi, guys. How are you guys? He was in the wrong party. The Republicans would have made him president. Okay, you're being a jerk, and no, we wouldn't have. So I'm gonna just go ahead and say bye-bye to you, too. I don't have time for your nonsense. We would never have voted for Graham Platner. Give me a friggin' break. Yeah, Richard, you're gone. Bye, Richard. Bye, Dick. See ya. Bye, Dick. Let's see who's watching over on Facebook. Robert Lawson, hello. Who else? Prani Yoprachat, hello. Lindsay Marsden, good to have you here. Good to have you here. All right. It's time now for me to talk. All right. Here we go. Time for me to talk. Okay. Tom Morello doing Voodoo Child. Turn this up a little. It's so good, so good. Oh, I've got a 5,000 watt sound system in my Bronco, who I lovingly refer to as Buck, and I crank this. All right. Here's another song that you guys absolutely love. Number 1 on the hit list.
We love to win. Winning, winning, so much winning. It's lots of winning, 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 lots of winning. It's so good.
So the first half of 2026 has seen the lowest jobless claims since 1969. Yeah. Weekly additional unemployment claims first week came in at 215,000, which is a very low level. Even more impressive, the average over the first 6 months, 213,000. To put that in perspective, the last time the January through July period was this low was 1968 to 1969. It's working. Stick it, Democrats. The low level of layoffs, jobless claims are a proxy for layoffs is notable for two other reasons. First, it defies the narrative that AI is killing jobs. Second, it has gone almost unnoticed and certainly uncelebrated because the media wants Donald Trump to fail, and it's not going to work. Not going to work. The legacy media describes the labor market as being in low hire, low fire mode. It's not accurate. We're not in a low hire environment. The economy has added 3.1 million jobs since January. Before seasonal adjustments, after seasonal adjustments, we're up to 392,000 despite losing 157,000 in February. A lot of those government jobs because they're cleaning house at the Fed. Since then, we've added 548,000 seasonally adjusted jobs, an average of 137,000 per month. That's pretty fantastic. It looks like healthcare employment is the place you want to be. Survey shows that layoff rates in healthcare and social assistance are extraordinarily low. So there you go. It's working. Manufacturing is coming back. Trillions of dollars coming here. Toyota's going to start building the Tacoma, lovingly known as the Taco, in Tejas. Thank you very much. The Tacoma returns to Texas, and much is happening. Then Apple is doing $15 billion chip manufacturing plant here, and things are looking up despite the Democrats trying to drag us into darkness, but we're not going. Nope, we're not. Nope, we're not. New stuff from James Tallarico, the creep from Texas who's not going to win the Senate seat down there. Unbelievable story out of Minneapolis with gang members, and Marco Rubio gets medieval on Antifa and a guy that Tim Volz had pardoned. That's coming up in the next hour. Don't go anywhere.
The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus. The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus.
The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus. In a world of espionage, truth is a moving target, and every decision carries a dangerous consequence. This new mission explores what it means to live as a double agent, twice the lies, twice the risk. The lines between ally and enemy blur like never before, and survival depends on trusting no one. Starring Michael Fassbender, Jeffrey Wright, Jodie Turner-Smith, and Richard Gere. Don't miss The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus.
You don't need to live with aches and pains. Visit ReliefFactor.com today.
It's the Rob Carson Show.
And by the grace of God, it is finally Friday. Last day here in the studio in Northern Virginia, moving to the Newsmax studios in downtown D.C. later today. So, not looking forward to the move, and looking forward to working with everyone. I'm very excited about it. Tony Kennet, Daily Signal, is going to join us at the bottom of the hour. I got a lot of good stories for him. He's fantastic. And so we'll get to that very shortly on the show. This is kind of it. Megan Hayes was on CNN. I'm not sure who Megan Hayes is. She's a Republican. And one of the reasons why the Democrat Party is lost is because the party is choosing candidates. And instead of people deciding to run for office like Mr. Smith, they just find people. And they found this Graham Platner guy, no experience whatsoever. He even admitted, he says, I never wanted to run for office. He really never wanted to run for office. And they just found him. They thought he fit the bill. They said, hey, man, we'll get you into the Senate. We'll take care of you. We'll tell you how to vote. We'll make sure that you're all taken care of. When you leave Washington, D.C., you're going to be filthy rich, because that's how it went. I'll bet you that's exactly how it happened. That's exactly how it happened. There was no Mr. Smith here. There was no, I feel a need to do something. It was, they found him. That's it. And apparently that's happening all over.
The Republicans were going to drop something after this the July 13th date, so you couldn't replace them. But the fact of the matter is these are the same consultants that are bringing you Abdul El-Sayed in Michigan. They're the same people who are bringing you other candidates that are not vetted, because they think that if you are online and you are popular online, that you are going to win people. And it is disgusting.
Unfortunately, the only place where Graham Platner was popular online was Kick.
Gross. This person was bad from the beginning. I have said it for months. He has no business being in the Senate. He has no business being on a campaign. And the fact that the Democratic Party stood with him after the first allegations, and the men of the Democratic Party stood with him, is disgusting. And the women are the only ones that stood up to him.
Something here. Abdul Sayed is not facing any kind of allegation.
But also, whatever. He says he's a physician. He's not. And he's also an anti-Semite. And he's a radical who wants to get rid of the police. So there you go. There you go. James Tallarico endorsed a assault weapons ban in a Little Scene 2020 interview. Said he was a believer in the Second Amendment. No, not so much. He says, and listen to this, he says, very few have actually, I don't know how he sounds, it's fine, like, very few have actually read the Second Amendment, because if they did, they would know the words well-regulated are right there in the text of the amendment. Of course he would say well-regulated, because he's a friggin' statist. The same is true of the Second Amendment. There's the right to bear arms, but it's not limited, and we could put common sense restrictions. Well, whatever your common sense is, being unable to defend yourself against a tyrannical government, that's your idea of common sense. He was for an assault weapons ban, large capacity magazine ban, restricting large firearm purchases, should have a limit on how many guns you could have, and also handgun design safety standards as well. All things that a busybody lefty would consider. Here's a little bit more from Tallarico the Freako talking about, are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? This creep, this vegan who thinks that God is non-binary and there are 6 sexes, this soy boy who is not a real man, not at all, not even close, this man who reads Satan's teleprompter and pretends to be a member of the clergy. He says that if you don't agree with gender transition of children, which is making them into mutilated eunuchs for life, he says if you disagree with it, then you're a Christo-fascist.
You saw it in the anti-LGBTQ legislation, including the bill that would have denied gender-affirming health care to trans children. And then, of course,
anybody who ever was down with mutilating children, giving them puberty blockers, should never, ever be allowed in public office.
Infamously, we saw it last session with the most extreme abortion ban in the country. All these ideologies stem from this Christofascism movement.
What the hell is Christofascism? What the hell is he talking about? Did you notice that they're saying Christian nationalists? Who makes up the majority of Americans? Christian nationalists, Christians. And those of us who are patriotic are nationalists. So there's like more than 100 million Christian nationalists. It's like saying white supremacy. Why is it? Because the white people are the most prolific out there. They're the most of them. They did, a lot of the heavy lifting when it came to building the country because they came from other countries to come here. Don't believe me? Go to New York. Irish, English, Italians who've been ignored by the creep commie mayor of New York City. And so they come up with this moniker. It's Christian nationalism. Well, you're not going to slander me. I'm a Christian nationalist. I'm also a Zionist, by the way. How about that? How about that, you creep? You're never, ever going to be a senator from the state of Tejas. Here he is basically doing some religious relativism.
I'm always so thrilled when I get invited to the Diwali festival.
I wasn't that far off with my voice with him, right?
I think I've gone 2 years in a row now. And, also have gotten a chance to speak at some of our local...
He has a girlfriend. Okay.
...mosques. And I find such wisdom and comfort and inspiration from faith traditions all over the world. And I find that they're all kind of equal pathways to truth.
No, not really. Not really. When it comes to a good share of Islam is about taking over the world and killing everybody who doesn't submit to their religion.
So I think, I always think of all of the world's faith traditions as like a circle with, that divine mystery of the universe in the middle. And we all have different names for that mystery, right? Whether it's God or Yahweh or Allah or Nirvana, Great Spirit, whatever you call it. This is all, different pathways to the same kind of.
Oh yeah, all right, whatever. Oh, here he is. He had a favorite mask that he wore during COVID. That any would have a favorite mask, and would not have burned them after COVID was over, and you didn't have to wear the stupid mask. Should be a tell about this moron.
I posted a picture of my favorite mask that I have, which is a mask that...
It's his favorite mask, I bet it's pink.
On the front in big white letters says, "Love thy neighbor," which of course comes from the New Testament.
What an unsufferable D-bag.
From the teachings of Jesus.
Which is an insult to D-bags.
And to me, that's the only reason you should need to wear your mask, because it's not about you. It's not about your individual rights or personal freedom. It's about
screw your freedom, in the words of Arnold Schwarzenegger during the height of the COVID pandemic. Unbelievable. They think that he's going to win. Carl Higbee last night on Newsmax. He's an American hero, kicks butt, takes names, the whole deal. And a lot of the butt kicking he did was, and the name was Mohammed, by the way, in Iraq when he was kicking down doors and killing terrorists, man. Yeah. Here is Carl Higbee talking about some of the people who could replace Graham Platner.
So numero uno is this cat, Troy Jackson, basically an older Graham Platner, more disheveled looking. Yeah. He was just endorsed by the Democrat Socialists of America. And if you don't know who they are or hear people trying to downplay the DSA,
we have to crush
just
them.
Listen to the Rhode Island DSA rep.
Yeah, listen to this.
We're not here to make the Democrats a little bit better. We're not here to get the little crumbs. We're here to actually enact socialism. And socialism is not just better capitalism. It's overthrowing the entire capitalism.
Yeah, you're gonna be in for more than just a battle at the box office, Junior, if you try that crap.
State.
Yes, tear down the capitalist system and make it like every other failed socialist state. He has a massive ethics concerns and allegations that the Maine Ethics Committee shockingly just randomly dismissed regarding bank fraud, mortgage fraud, taxpayer travel reimbursements, some of which are based on him traveling from living outside the district that he represents. Oh, he also lost a 2014 congressional bid and the governor primary last year, so he doesn't seem too electable to me. But weirdly, all right, next they've got Nirav Shah. I think I got that right. And you're probably like, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah, pretty much.
He's the former Maine CDC director. Then he scooted over to Maine, and became the COVID director there with the strictest COVID lockdown policies, including church restrictions, school shutdowns that like ruined kids' performance for years, more than other states.
Yeah, my kids too.
Okay, then you've got Shenna Bellows. You remember her. She's the Maine Secretary of State. Now, she will poll well among the crazies because she was the one who removed Trump from the ballot.
And that didn't work out so well for her, did it? Yep. And they're claiming it's like some sort of a choice for Maine. But Graham Platner apparently hasn't signed the paperwork. And Joe Scarborough, who's always wrong about everything. My God, how can you be that stupid and get that much money to have a network news anchor job? I mean, honestly, he and his wife collectively have the IQ of like a half of a Somalian. That's so racist. No, it's not. No, it's actually true. This is kind of funny. The unofficial name for kicking Iran's butt right now, are you ready for this? It's Operation B-Slap. You remember when Rush Limbaugh used to say, B-itch slap? That's what they're calling it. Trump launches Operation B-itch slap in retaliation for Iran shooting ships in the Strait of Hormuz. Says he's going with his gut, and they are gutting Iran.
The U.S. struck another 90 targets inside Iran, from missile launchers to runways. 2 rail bridges were targeted, which the U.S. said were used by Iran to transport weapons. State media reported explosions in Bushehr, home to a massive nuclear facility. But a U.S. official said the targets were on the coast. The nuclear plant was never hit. 14 people reportedly killed, 9 of them members of Iran's Revolutionary Guard, all in the aftermath of 3 commercial tankers struck by Iran while transiting the Strait of Hormuz.
That was a deliberate provocation. Iran had to have anticipated the United States response.
The Gulf Cooperation Council calls the attacks a violation of international law. Still, Iran remains defiant. Its parliament speaker posting, "The Strait of Hormuz will only open with Iranian arrangements, not American threats." The Kingdom of Jordan intercepted 8 Iranian missiles. Iran also launching strikes against Bahrain, Qatar, and Kuwait. Most were intercepted. Only Kuwait reported that someone was injured.
Yeah, it's time to just waylay them. That's all there is. Just waylay them. Lay waste to them. That's it. Coming up, Stephen Turley, one of my favorite people, he explains what the Memorandum of Understanding was about. And it's going to surprise you because it wasn't to benefit Iran. It was to prepare us, and we'll share that on the other side of the break. This is The Rob Carson Show.
Deported. Deported. Deported.
Get them out. Ready? Are you ready? Get them out of here. Get them out of here. Get the hell out of here. Deported. 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 Get them out. Ready? Are you ready? Get them out of here. Get them out of here. Get the hell out of here.
Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
Have a rejoin.
All right.
We have to beat them electorally, and then we have to break their spirit. And then we're going to crush their soul.
Oh, really? You and what army?
Yeah, not going to happen. Because, you see, we haven't sold ours. The Democrat Party has. I mean, seriously. That's what Graham Platner was all about. It was Satan going, okay, time for you to pay up. You got to pay up. There you go. That's why the Democrat Party is doing a death spiral into hell. Stephen Turley, who's just awesome. I love me some Stephen Turley, talking about the Memorandum of Understanding, which has actually readied us for the strikes that we're doing right now against Iran. Oops, hold on. Let me turn this on. Hold on. I got to do a couple buttons in there.
The critical thing to understand here, the thing that separates informed analysis from the noise, is that what happened over the last 24 hours was always the plan.
What?
The ceasefire was not surrender, as much as Rachel Maddow wanted her dwindling audience to believe that.
That's interesting.
The ceasefire was not surrender. It was a reload. While Iran thought it was winning breathing room through the MOU, probably because they were listening to our legacy media, the U.S. was repositioning military assets in the Gulf.
Yeah.
U.S. forces quietly surged a third carrier strike group into the Gulf. They deployed additional Marine expeditionary forces and began pre-positioning for the next phase. Because Washington never intended the ceasefire to be the end of the story. Now, I want to make sure you understand what's going on here. This has been part of our analysis from the very beginning of the ceasefire, and once again, I find...
Yeah, there you go. So there you go. Yeah, it was giving us a break to get a little refresh so we could resume the butt kicking if they didn't, do what we asked them to do. I think that's great. Iran hatched a fresh plot to kill President Trump. Iran for years vowed openly to retaliate against Trump for the assassination of Qasem Soleimani. They made him go boom. Top general of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps in Trump's first term. Apparently, Israel kind of tipped us off to an assassination attempt on Donald Trump. There's so many of them right now. It's just utterly ridiculous. By the way, 8 men have been charged over the alleged terror plot at the UFC event, and it was to kill Donald Trump, by the way. 8 men have been accused of planning a drone and shooting attack aimed to kill Donald Trump at the UFC Freedom 250 event held at the White House. If this were a Democrat, the world would be on fire right now. Each participant faces between 15 years to life in prison if convicted of terrorism and murder charges. I hope every one of the little B words are. The men are between the ages of 19 and 32. Taking part in the plot to kill the president, J.D. Vance, Benjamin Netanyahu, Elon Musk, and other high-value targets. It's the names of these individuals who will be spending a lot of time in pound your you-know-what prison. Abraham Alvarez, Daniel Eskridge, William Faulkner, Tyson Proper, Jordan Rinker, Brian Roa, Chandler Skaggs, and Michael Thomas. They met on Signal, SimpleX, and Discord, TikTok, and Instagram to share their plot. Among other things, they traveled from their homes in Nebraska, Missouri, Washington, D.C., West Virginia, California to go to the White House. The police learned about the potential threat at the UFC event on June 10th, 4 days before the cage match. At earlier court appearance July 15th showed police were first called in a home in Knox County, northeast of the state capital, Columbus, by Mr. Proper's name because she was concerned he had been speaking to people online and recently bought weapons. Mr. Proper's father allegedly told the police 19-year-old had been planning to recons and hit-and-run missions and spent at least $4,300 on camping gear, food, body armor, and lots of ammunition. So there you go, another damned plot against Donald Trump. I'm just so done. Done with the left, done with you mouthy leftists calling our president a fascist and all of that stuff. Here's a story out of Minnesota. Tim Walz is, morally and intellectually bankrupt. He's an evil little man, and he's a communist. He was going to pardon this guy convicted of sexually abusing a child because he came from Laos.
Why is he still here? He was convicted like 20 years ago. Why is he still here? So Walz, disgusting animal, this guy repeatedly and brutally raped a young girl for 5 straight years, got caught, confessed, served no jail time, and then just gets to hang out in Minnesota?
Yeah, that's the Democrat Party because, you can do anything you damn well please as long as you vote Democrat. It is so thoroughly bloody disgusting. But guess what? Marco Rubio has decided to get medieval on his rear end.
Just weeks ago, a convicted sex offender and a foreign national was shielded from deportation by the governor of Minnesota. Laotian national Tu Li Vang was convicted of repeatedly sexually abusing a 10-year-old girl in the state of Minnesota. He even tried to pay his victim for her silence, and he called his heinous crimes a minor thing. Just days before this foreign sex offender was scheduled to be deported, Tim Walz, the governor, issued him a pardon, setting him free to once again endanger the children of America.
What a PS.
Well, this week I revoked his legal status in the United States, and as a result, federal agents took him into custody, and as of today, he has been removed from the United States. Because of our action, this foreign criminal will never pose a threat to any American ever again. Americans must never be forced by their elected leaders to live alongside foreign sex criminals who have no right to begin with.
The Democrat House of Cards is falling apart, and the death spiral into hell is continuing. Ilhan Omar has ties to a guy who escaped to Somalia. He's a Somalian who was a fraudster.
This guy who was arrested was allegedly one of the orchestrators of the massive Feeding Our Futures fraud scheme. And when he was charged 4 years ago, Abdikerm Idle fled the country. His name came up a lot during the trial of the now convicted ringleader of the scandal, Amy Bach. And that trial also exposed multiple communications they had with Congresswoman Ilhan Omar's staff.
Really?
For example, in February 2021, there was an email.
Could this be why she said she was worth $30 million?
Email chain between Bach and Omar's office with the subject line, "Help with USDA food programs," the same programs that were targeted by the fraudsters for more than $250 million. A couple weeks later, Bach sent Idle an email with the subject line, "Ilhan's office." There was also a string of text messages between Bach and Omar's staff. What did all of those messages say? Well, we don't know that.
Yeah. All I do is I hope and pray that she is denaturalized and deported to never come back, along with all of her Somali scumbag criminal brothers and sisters and the families that took part in this scam. And by the way, if Kamala Harris were president, we wouldn't know anything about it. Tony Kennet, Daily Signal, joins us next. Don't go anywhere.
The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus.
The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus. In a world of espionage, truth is a moving target, and every decision carries a dangerous consequence. This new mission explores what it means to live as a double agent, twice the lies, twice the risk. The lines between ally and enemy blur like never before, and survival depends on trusting no one. Starring Michael Fassbender, Jeffrey Wright, Jodie Turner-Smith, and Richard Gere. Don't miss The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus.
The left is not bright. There is no birthright. All the lies about it they've been telling you. Men and girls sports, nobody supports. Their claims of ICE misconduct are not true. Don't catch the stupid, don't buy their BS. The climate change is real, voter fraud's not. Don't catch the stupid, do not believe them, because distraction and diversion's all they got. Gain of function research, never heard of it. They're always cheating and misleading with another mail-in ballot scheme. Redistribution is their solution. A socialist America's their dream. Don't catch the stupid, you just can't do it. They say we should defund the police. They're teaching sex ed in kindergarten. Their destructive policies must cease. Like my personal favorite, Medicare for all. Statues are fallen. It's so appalling. Of common sense, they are so bereft. Don't catch the stupid, reject their nonsense. Everything is stupid on the left.
Hey guys, it's Carson for Relief Factor. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those words weren't written for history books, they were written for you. But it's hard to pursue happiness when pain is a part of your everyday life. Relief Factor was created to help people address inflammation, one of the most common causes of ongoing aches and pains from aging, overexertion, and daily living. It's a 100% drug-free, research-based formula that works through multiple metabolic pathways to support comfort and mobility. No prescription, no masking symptoms, just real relief so you can keep moving forward. I work out every other day, I crush it at the gym, and I ride my bike 100 miles on the weekend. I credit Relief Factor for making all of those activities pain-free. And as America celebrates 250 years of independence, give yourself a chance to reclaim yours. To commemorate, they're offering a special patriotic price, just $17.76. Yeah. So you can pursue your happiness being pain-free. Your $17.76 3-week quick start is ready for you. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4-RELIEF. That's ReliefFactor.com or 800-4-RELIEF. Hey guys, it's Carson for Ghost Bed. Do you really want another summer like last summer, barely sleeping because you were too hot all night? People blame summer heat for bad sleep when it really may be their mattress trapping heat. And if you already sleep hot, summer only makes it worse. That's why I switched to Ghost Bed. Helps keep you cool all night, no waking up sweaty, tossing and turning, or throwing the covers off at 2 a.m. Cooling tech is built into every mattress. It's not some expensive upgrade you have to pay extra for. Hot sleepers are some of Ghost Bed's happiest customers. Read the reviews. You get incredible support, less stiffness, deeper sleep, more rested mornings. I got my Ghost Bed about 6 months ago, and it changed my life. Ghost Bed gives you 101 nights to try it at home. You can sleep on it all summer long and feel the difference for yourself. How many more summers are you going to waste on bad sleep? Ghost Bed is currently having their 4th of July sale, offering my audience an extra 10% off. Go to ghostbed.com/Carson. Use the promo code Carson. That's ghostbed.com/Carson, promo code Carson.
Graham Platner is the real deal. He's a fighter, and he's ready to take that fight to Washington. Graham Platner has the grit to go against the grain and to fight for what is right. That's the energy, that's the fighting spirit that the Democratic Party needs now more than ever.
We are suspending campaign operations.
The defense of hog refining oil, oil regional allies, which will open up the energy flows for the region.
That is Dr. Kanta Ahmed talking about Donald. I'm kind of tired of messing with the Iranians. I think we're trying to bomb the snot out of them again, which, again, I'm actually glad for, because there's no negotiating with these radicals. There's no negotiating. Okay, I'm back, Brian. I'm back.
You're up.
All right, sorry about that. We had a technical snafu there. I hate that. I hate it when that happens, because our favorite guest is here, and he's Tony Kennet, and he deserves much better than that. But welcome anyway, my friend. How are you?
I'm great. I mean, to be honest with you, buddy, I was even a little, I was excited to talk Graham Platner, and then I was excited to talk about bombing the hell out of Carg Island.
I know.
Christmas early.
This is fantastic. Okay, so Graham Platner, we now know the reason why they got rid of him is because he was losing, and the Democrat Party would elect Satan himself if they thought Satan would win.
I do love knowing that you and I called this back.
Oh, dude.
Was it February where you and I called this? We said if they pick Platner, he doesn't make it.
Of course. It was obvious, but it's interesting. Have you heard the contrition from the Democrat Party, or at least some members of the Democrat Party, and the media about this? I don't know. They don't have shame, but I think they're trying to save their ass, because they really stepped in it. I mean, this is like, in this election year, they've assured that Maine is lost.
Oh, they have. And then all of the replacement candidates, Janet Mills is trailing Susan Collins. You've got Troy Jackson, who's kind of the preferred pick. Like, he's also trailing Susan Collins. And also, again, all of them, the best part about this whole thing is that Platner was made the template. And they were proud of it.
Dude.
Like, here's what you do. You pretend to be a working man. I've been doing it for years. Then you say universal health care over and over, and then you tell everyone to be scared of Israel. That's it. That's step 3 to instant victory.
Yeah. Well, you know.
So now, go ahead.
No, you.
Just the every candidate now, from John Ossoff in Georgia to Dan Osborne in Nebraska, every candidate in the House, they're all now glued to him. Seriously, they can't escape him, and it's, even if he drops out.
Well, and also, here's the problem. The Democrat Party is so bloody lost. They don't have any sort of it's all hate Trump all the time. All of these candidates, including this Al Sayed, all of them are being chosen by the same people. They are not grassroots. They are not candidates they are not Mr. Smith goes to Washington. They are all being chosen. Graham Platner, he said, I never wanted to run for office. That's true. What they did is they found this guy who fits some sort of a template. It looks like one of the Village people with that stupid mustache. And they said, we'll move you to Washington. We'll tell you how to vote, and you will retire rich. That's what they did.
Well, it's even better because, there's 2 fun ways we can go. I've spent like all week investigating all of this and covering this, and you know how to rile me up. So with regard to Osborne, again, Osborne in Nebraska is their Democrats pick, who's running as a independent. Yeah,
sure.
And this goober is, again, he's the one who found Platner along with the 2 Bernie staffers, and they knew all of this stuff earlier on, and including, by the way, that the Attorney General of Maine appears to be investigating Platner now, but alas.
Yeah, well, listen, let me ask you this, though. Are you sure the AG didn't tell Platner, drop out or we're gonna? Or do you?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because either way, the Federal Department of Justice is likely to begin investigating him soon, because his activity on Kick Messenger, in which he's not only alleged to have messaged a boatload of women, but also children, minors.
Wow.
That's going to be investigated, whether he wants it or not.
Listen to CBS last night being asked why they stood with Platner, and it was because they thought he would win, and when they thought he could lose, they got rid of him.
In political circles, the answer, it appears, was yes. Many Democrats knew Platner had character issues. The theory from Daniel Morath, the political strategist who plucked Platner from obscurity and made him into a star, was that the voters wouldn't care, that they wanted, quote, real people who have lived real lives.
I mean, we want people who didn't run for student council, right? We want people who have not been.
Okay, first of all, if that's the person choosing your candidates, your freaking party is screwed.
But that's the point.
Yeah.
That's the point. I've gone on about this for ages, and you know I have. The Democrats have the most twisted idea of masculinity. They think that boys come in two flavors. Number one, gay and feminine.
Yes.
That's flavor number one. Where like the guy who said, "Oh, we just wanted someone who's gonna," like that kind of crap. The James Tallarico, the Beto O'Rourke. So feminine, you look for where the tampon is in his pocket, right? That kind of guy.
Yes.
And then guy number two, they're like, well, the only other kind of masculinity is toxic masculinity.
Yes.
And so they literally picked the rapist who worked for Blackwater.
Yes.
You know I've done private military stuff. And
Yes.
Blackwater has the darkest name among us because if you're going to murk, you're going to make some money doing some questionable things overseas. You don't do it for Blackwater. I mean, God, that's like playing for the Reds. I'm sorry, that's not fair. That's not fair. Come on, man. This is just insane. They thought this is our masculine man, and they picked a serial killer character. My God.
Yeah. And he had no sense of humor at all. If you listen to him, no humor at all. He's a sociopath. And I want to ask you this, Tony. You have a daughter, right?
I do.
Okay. I'm going to run to the list of things that would disqualify a suitor from dating your daughter where you'd stop. Okay, let's just go ahead and start with number one. Has a Totenkopf tattoo, which was the official tattoo of... Okay, there you go. It's just amazing. It is...
This dopey Eeyore with a mustache. I mean, he's coming out there and he's saying, my wife Amy and I this, Amy and I that.
Oh, my God.
At 23... and he started cheating on her a month later. There are entire Facebook groups dedicated to women who are like, we all dated Platner. I've dated a few women in my time, but there's not enough of them to go make a Facebook group of the survivors. My God.
It is it's remarkable. But I'm trying to figure out why the media is exposing the Democrat Party for pulling him because he couldn't win. They normally would, okay. I predicted that it would be Eric Swallowswell over again because they have ghosted him. He's gone. He no longer exists. Why are they not doing it with this guy?
There are two reasons.
What?
So reason number one is that the landscape is changing. So again, we've talked about this before. Congratulations, by the way, on your soon move into the DC Newsmax building. I'm excited to see you when I'm in town.
Thank you, brother.
And that is because, again, these infrastructures, they don't have a hold anymore. So they actually have to kind of play ball more than they wanted to. Alex Thompson over at Axios actually talks about this. Number two, Adam Wren at Politico is a damn fine guy.
Okay.
He is from Indiana. He is their chief political correspondent. Okay. Do he and I agree politically? No. But is he honest to a fault?
Good.
Absolutely.
Good.
He is. He's the best guy they've got at Politico, and I'll die on that hill. Number three, and bonus point here, is that the Democrats believe, at the media side, now the DNC doesn't believe this, but the media side believes because they are admitting this about Platner, they can say that Republicans are just as cold-hearted for Donald Trump and Ken Paxton.
Yeah, I know.
The DNC, however, and I can confirm this with someone in the senior office at the DNC in Minnesota.
Real quick, go ahead.
That's not going to work. That's not a thing.
No, it's not.
No one cares about that.
It's not going to work. We have to take a break, Tony, and I've got much more on the other side of the break, brother. So stick around. This is The Rob Carson Show.
though, that he asked his roommate, Twiggs. Twiggs talked about in his interview how he asked for the Dremel to make these engravings about a month before the shooting of Charlie Kirk. One said, "Hey, fascist, catch," and one said, "If you're reading this now, you're gay." These were messages that they say were on these bullet casings. They also found a fifth one in Robinson's home, the same ammunition caliber type that said test shot. They were able to tie it back to his home, the ones found at the crime scene. Twiggs testified that Tyler Robinson had planned this, I guess the details of this assassination, what he was going to do about a week before. But here's Twiggs actually talking about the moment that Robinson asked for this Dremel to make these engravings. Watch.
Was he engraving bullets before this?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly when, but he had said he was planning to go hunting with his family, and he asked me for if we had a Dremel because he said he wanted to engrave messages on bullets, and I just told him where a Dremel was, and told him to make sure he doesn't set off a bullet on accident.
Yeah. Did you watch any of that testimony yesterday, Tony Kennet?
I did, but I know a lot of other people are really invested in this.
I'm not either. I'm not.
I'm ready to see this guy hanged.
Yes.
I don't know what else to tell you.
Well, that's all about everything right there. Everything that I saw yesterday was premeditated and evil. You don't scribe those messages on bullets knowing you're going to kill someone. He's an evil SOB. I hope they do firing squad. And I'm not making this into the trial of the century. I'm not going to focus a lot of time on it. I did have to hear your take because I value it.
Well, you're a real sweet guy. I will say this though, because he again was a leftist terrorist.
Yep.
The Washington Post this morning. Have you seen this? They are freaking out because Rubio's bringing 60 countries over to the United States to do this conference on Antifa operating around the world.
They're taking him. Yes, dude, this is fantastic. Did you see? Also, he kicked out that guy from Laos that raped the little girl that Tim Volz said he wanted to stay in America. He's getting medieval, and they're going after Antifa internationally, dude. This is phenomenal.
And not only that, watching Washington Post in their article, I'm not even joking. They said, well, how could you even classify Luigi Mangione's killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson's? How could you even classify that as a left-wing act of terror? What even is left-wing terror? And I wrote the articles coming out, I think, at the Daily Wire here in a couple of minutes. The idea that some of these media outlets who are being forced to play along in the Platner thing now are being dragged for their other garbage coverage. Americans are not doing the Antifa crap.
Listen to this. Listen to this. This is from around 2020. I want you to hear
There's no Antifa. This is an entirely imaginary organization. There is not an Antifa.
I don't even know what Antifa is. There is no group.
It's not even like far-right groups like the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers. Compared to right-wing extremists, Antifa-linked violence is rare and limited.
It isn't an organization. It is in many ways.
The reason why they're defending him is that they're their army. The Antifa are soldiers for hire for the Democrat Party and the left.
Again, when you had a group of individuals who openly say, hey, we are Antifa, that claimed responsibility in part for Charlie Kirk's murder, when you have a group that says, hey, we are Antifa, that assaulted the either Plainfield or Plainview ICE facility down in Texas, or the other ambush down in Texas, the Pacific Northwest, what drove Andy Ngo out of the country because they were trying to kill him consistently. This is a clear... you had a European tell the Washington Post anonymously, oh, we don't have Antifa here in Europe. And yet, what was just happening last year? A major classification of Antifa Ost, OST, short for Austria, operating in Germany, Austria, Italy, and the Netherlands.
Yeah. Here, listen to this. Listen to this.
Good evening to you, John. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is focusing in now on U.S. counterterrorism efforts here at home and around the globe. Right now, the State Department is focusing on what it is calling far-left political terrorism.
Yeah, and they've been running roughshod over our country and the world for a number of years. And isn't it nice to see that? And then also to see Donald Trump effectively declaring war on communism and this socialism movement in America.
I'm telling you what, man, Donald Trump is making it very clear through a lot of his actions that the next president of this United States is going to be Marco Rubio. That's the next one.
No. I know. Let me hear your thoughts on this because Vance is not going to be a VP on a ticket. So what's going to happen?
No. I mean, if Vance runs, which I don't think is set in stone that he is, I don't think he can make it out of the primary. Rubio is the most popular member of this administration. Mm-hmm. He is extremely articulate. And he doesn't have any Achilles heels.
He is just blown me away. I saw him in 2016 when he was running against Trump, and I thought he was pretty impressive, very green at the time. But I could tell that I liked him because he had a cheap suit and bad shoes, which meant he's in it for the people. And I was impressed by him. He has just crystallized, brother. He has just crystallized. Well, who's on the ticket with him, do you suppose? We got to run. DeSantis, what? What do you think?
Nope, I don't. And actually, I think it's a dark horse. We have no idea yet. But thank God we're outside the day of, well, let's choose a person of the opposite race and gender from the...
Yeah, I know. All right, brother, I got to go, but I appreciate you, Tony Kennet. Where can everybody find you on social media, etc.?
At the Tonus, TheTonus, YouTube at the Daily Signal. Have a great weekend, buddy.
God bless you, bro. We'll talk soon. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. God, so good. He's so good. To be honest, Tony is a political pundit. I am an entertainer with punditry leanings. He does deep dives. I bring him on because I like to hear his perspective, and he never fails. And he's also got a great sense of humor. Really, really amazing. I hope you enjoy the segment. He's fantastic. Dookie Bear, Vance or Rubio? I don't know, bro. I mean, it's probably going to be Rubio. He's already taken over. So I like Vance. Do I think that Vance is going to be a capable person? Would I be disappointed if he ran? No. But Rubio's become a force of nature. Rubio also has more years on the planet. Rubio's a Gen Xer. Vance is a millennial. And we've not had a Gen X president yet. Did you know that? We've not had a Gen X president yet. I know. Crazy, right? That's true. Hello, Vicki Stevens, Jellyfish Hunter. What's going on over there? DC-42, paper or plastic? Tastes great, less filling. I don't know what you're talking about. What temperature does tuna melt? What are you guys talking about? I don't even know. Making tuna melt for lunch. There you go. And then somebody said, what temperature does tuna melt? A tuna melt? Really? An old school tuna melt? What are you going to mix like some Miracle Whip with the tuna? That's what we did. Put a piece of cheese on it, stick it in the broiler with a slice of American cheese on it. That's a white trash tuna melt right there. That is a white trash tuna melt. Had a lot of those. Really good, really good. Dago Dave, Rob, you have one of the best podcasts ever, and we love your patriotism. Why, thank you. I gotta play some comedy.
Yeah, about 3.5 here.
So Tucker Carlson and MTG are thinking about starting their own political parties. I know. Laughable. It reminded me of this scene in Animal House.
Over? Did you say over? Nothing is over until we decide it is. Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? Hell no!
German? Forget it, he's rolling.
And it ain't over now. Because when the going gets tough, the toughs get going. Who's with me? Let's go! Come on! Hey!
Yeah, that's MTG and Tucker Carlson. And nobody is following them. No MAGA member is going to follow these fools because they're nuts. And here's Jim Gossett as Tucker Carlson to sing about.
It's my party that I'll form if I want to. Form if I want to. It's what I must do. We don't like you if you are a Jew.
Nobody likes you. You're unelectable.
Me and Candace and MTG. Trump put us three in the wind. We are no longer relevant, but we can still pretend.
He's unlikable.
A new party that will launch any minute. Hate will be in it. That's how we'll spin it. We'll bear my name, cause I have no shame. party will be anti-Israel.
Yeah.
That would be a safe bet. Sympathy for Hamas. That's what you will get. It's my podcast and I'll lie if I want to. Lie if I want to. Lie is what I do. Party will be all about me.
So that is Jim Gossett. You can go to patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy. Carlson lifted the lid on his desire to help build a third party to the Columbia Journalism Review July 1st. There should be a good faith effort to figure out what benefits the country. The only party that has room for creating a party is people leaving the Democrat Party. That's the only thing. That nobody's leaving MAGA, son. I hate to tell you that. And the Marjorie Taylor Greene is honestly what is. I don't understand. I don't understand how. I don't know. I'm a committed person. She should be committed. Hey, I just came up with that. But I don't understand. I don't understand. It's like that Jack Weed who's up second in the possible running for Graham Platner's seat. He was a Republican and now he's a socialist. You got to be unstable to begin with. MTG is unstable. Candace Owens. What is up with Candace friggin' Owens? She's a lunatic. I don't think it's for clicks. She's a lunatic. She's a dangerous, unhinged individual. And I guess there are a lot of people who dig that, watching that freak show. MTG, I just think is dumb. Let's take a break and come back. One more hour of this here radio program on the other side of the top of the hour. Don't go anywhere.
The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus. The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus.
The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus. In a world of espionage, truth is a moving target and every decision carries a dangerous consequence. This new mission explores what it means to live as a double agent, twice the lies, twice the risk. The lines between ally and enemy blur like never before, and survival depends on trusting no one. Starring Michael Fassbender, Jeffrey Wright, Jodie Turner-Smith, and Richard Gere. Don't miss The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus.
You don't need to live with aches and pains. Visit relieffactor.com today.
Hold it now.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the third hour of the Rob Carson Show, and by the grace of God, it is finally Friday. Zoran Mandami is saying that the previous administration, the Adams administration, left Little Italy off the map of neighborhoods in New York, and also some Jewish enclaves and Irish enclaves.
Hi, Mr. Mayor. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Can you please address the controversy that has developed over the city's immigrant enclaves list? Do you believe that there are neighborhoods that were left off that list? And if the city plans to
there's a little Palestine, for God's sake.
More, which other neighborhoods do you think should be added?
Yeah. So this map was initially created by the prior
Little Palestine's a great place to go get bombed.
Administration in
they got a lot of bars there.
2023, and when we inherited it, we added a few additional neighborhoods. It's clearly not an exhaustive list of the more than 200 ethnic communities that call our city home, and we're going to be making additional changes in the future to reflect that, and that includes adding Little Italy to the map.
Yeah, it should have been like the first enclave to the bloody map. Anybody knows that in New York. And here is how New Yorkers are feeling. And this is why he's doing a mea culpa, because he's really screwed the pooch.
Mayor Mandami, I give you a year. You are not a New Yorker. You have no clue.
I'm Isabella Reggi, and today we are here in Little Italy asking the locals how they feel about one of the oldest immigrant communities, Little Italy.
Don't mess with the Italians.
Not being included on Mayor Mamdani's immigrant enclave map.
I don't consider you to be my mayor.
I think it's disgraceful for what he's doing. He's got to be fair to everybody, and he's not fair to everybody. He's not fair to the Jewish people, which he makes everybody notice he's not fair to the Jewish people. He's not fair to the Irish people, and now he hates the Italians. For what reason? What do we do?
Because he's an Islamist.
They should hate us.
They always sort of pushed us to the side. I got it. Yeah. In other words, Little Italy, they take care of their own problems. And we're always pushed aside. And I think it's about time that...
I think we're done with this piece of crap. Came here to 2018. He's a spoiled, entitled child. He got a bunch of other spoiled, entitled children to vote for him when nobody was paying attention. And he's ended up being the mayor of the damn city. And I think if you know New York, and I don't know New York. I mean, I know what I followed through New York. I started going there about 6-7 years ago. I love it. I love it. I love it. If you look at the high-rise buildings when they were built in the 20s, when the Empire State Building was built, it was Irish, it was English, it was Italians, it was all these mostly Europeans, but there were people from Danes, there were people from all over the world coming to New York City, and a lot of those boroughs were just dreadfully poor from the 1800s through the early 1900s. But they went out and they busted their butts and they built New York City. And how dare this little soy boy piece of crap Islamist come in and do such a thing? He's really screwed the pooch on this one. He has really screwed the pooch on this one. You do not want to make the Italians mad. You and the Irish, certainly. I'm just speaking from experience. Neither one of those. Wow. Honestly, people are just done with this nonsense. Americans like you and I are done with this nonsense. And I'm not talking about white people. I'm talking about patriotic people, black people, Asian people, whatever, who came here, who came here from overseas. If you're one a son of an immigrant, maybe escaped the country with pennies in your pocket, came over here and made a go of it and opened a convenience store or opened a business or came up with an idea and succeeded. And when you got the news that you were going to be sworn in as an American citizen, you celebrated it as the greatest moment in your life. Not this jackweed. not this jackweed. And I think we're done with these people. I think we're done with these people. And we are going to crush this communist movement. We are going to crush it. It is not going to rise because too many of our ancestors, too many of our grandparents, great-grandparents fought. Some died for this country to defeat the communist menace, the Marxist menace, and we aren't going to allow it on our shores. We're done. Top official at the Zoran Mamdani administration secretly scheduled a meeting with Iran's UN ambassador. This is who we're dealing with. Senior official in communist New York, Mayor Zoran Mamdani's administration, tried to hold an official meeting with the Iran regime's ambassador to the United Nations, Commissioner Anna Maria Archila, the head of the mayor's office for international affairs, scheduled a meeting for July 7th at 11 o'clock at the United Nations Plaza with Amir Saeed Irvani, Iran's permanent representative to the United States. Nations. This should require an investigation by the State Department. This is absolutely inexcusable that something like this would happen. But it sounds like a plan. Here is Fox talking about that this morning.
Well, New York City Mayor's office is under fire after Zoran Mamdani's International Affairs Commissioner reportedly made plans to meet with Iran's UN ambassador earlier this week. The timing could not have been worse. And the New York Post reporting this, the scheduled meeting would have unfolded after Iranian troops fired missiles at 2 commercial ships traversing the Strait of Hormuz. An action Monday in direct defiance of an interim peace agreement between the U.S. and Iran.
Go get them, State Department. Arkilla is a longtime activist, co-director of the Working Families Party with zero diplomatic experience, was handed the powerful and international affairs role as a political reward. Her office has already been caught pushing an internal directive telling staff to prioritize diplomatic engagement with foreign officials who are, quote, in political alignment or leftist. I don't know the possibility of a recall, if it could happen, but this punk needs to just get a figurative spanking, and he needs to be made the rest of a lame duck for the rest of his term in office. He is a disgrace. And to all the the New Yorkers, the Italians, the Irish, and the Jewish, I will fight with you. I will fight with all of you freedom-loving Americans who love our country as founded, are proud of our country. We are in a fight. We are in a war. They've declared war on us. And guess what we do when we go to war? We win. We win. Unbelievable. Spencer Pratt went off on the California election fraud. Of course, I would never say there's fraud in California. I mean, there's a lot of evidence and stuff, but you know. And he went off yesterday. I have some samples of this. I'm going to play a couple of them here, and then we'll take a break. Here is Spencer Pratt talking about the fact that, he was ahead by like 10 points on election night, and then all of a sudden all these votes came in for his opponent, this ramen noodles nutbag, whatever the hell her name is, and they came from homeless people.
Keep in mind, an anomalous statistical spike like this is evidence of fraud. Ask any forensic accountant. It may not be necessarily proof of fraud, but it is certainly evidence of fraud.
Yeah.
But forget the late ballots. Just because the vote swing coincidentally matched the specific Lhasa count of homeless people on the streets.
Yeah, matched the homeless people, and they all went to her. All the votes went to her.
Just because NGOs that Nithya cuts checks to were hoarding ballots, just because hundreds of thousands of dead people and ex-residents who left California were still on the voter rolls, doesn't mean anyone is taking those loose ballots and filling them out. First off, it's against the law. And we all know if it's against the law, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, like rape. I mean, if rape's against the law, that's why there are no rapes. And murders. Murder's illegal too. That's why there are. Well, okay, never mind.
Secondly, we have signature verification. Everyone has to sign their ballot.
Yeah.
And a computer checks your signature.
Yeah.
Well, except some voters can't sign, so they carved out a rule where you can just make a mark on the ballot. And a witness can sign on your behalf.
Yeah.
It can be an X or a scribble or even a happy face.
Even a happy face.
As long as a witness signs off on it. And don't forget, once they separate the ballot from the envelope, there's zero way to trace it back to the ballot to check if a sudden tranche of votes that swung predominantly to one candidate had come from a bunch of ballots with the happy faces in the signature box.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of like maybe there could be some fraud or something. And then, of course, in California, there's no mechanism to investigate voter fraud. And the only people who are allegedly committing the fraud are, of course, Democrats.
There is this misnomer being parroted even by staunch critics of California's rigged voting system, saying there's nothing you can do because this is all legal in California. It's not legal. Even by California's own ridiculous laws, all this stuff is still illegal. They've simply removed all the mechanisms to catch the fraud and prevent it from happening.
Yes.
It's like a bank heist. But California has made a law that you can't lock the bank vault. You're not allowed to have security cameras. And you can't count the money inside the vault.
No.
Robbing the bank is still 100% illegal, but there's no way to stop it from happening.
They say there's no voter fraud, but even if there was, there's no way to find out if there is because they've covered it up. And before the LA mayoral election, Gavin Newsom changed the law.
Now here's the smoky backroom dealing. 5 days before my election, Gavin Newsom signed a ridiculous law that literally banned federal and independent authorities from investigating vote fraud or overseeing elections to monitor for fraud during the counting process.
Weird.
Moving forward with new legislation that would make it a felony to seize ballots before the vote has been certified by state and county officials. We will be the wall he cannot get past.
That's like banning the bank from having security cameras.
Yeah.
Now, the timing of this was deliberate. He knows this won't hold up in court, but he did it so close to the election day, he knew the courts wouldn't be able to overturn it in time for the election.
Yeah. Oh, there's more. There's more. There was a reason why there were FBI agents in Skid Row, and hell is coming to Democrats in California. I'll share that on the other side of the break. By the way, America's celebrating its 250th anniversary. They're doing it because we were built on a strong foundation. The framers were geniuses. Hamilton built America's financial foundation on the principle of sound, stable money, a principle later embodied by the gold standard and abandoned in 1971. That's why we're in such a mess right now. That's why your dollar isn't worth as much. So why don't you convert it to gold? Why don't you do that? Because gold's gone up in value. 10 years, it was $1,200 an ounce 10 years ago. Now it's over $4,000. Birch Gold has been helping Americans solidify their savings with gold for the last 15 years. They will help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold. Learn how gold fits into your portfolio by texting my name, Rob, to the number 989898. You're going to receive a free no-obligation kit. A-plus rating from the BBB, countless 5-star reviews. They've got my money. They've got my money. Birch Gold, I believe them enough to actually take an entire 401k from selling cars and let it ride with Birch Gold. I did it. Text my name, Rob, to the number 989898. That's Rob to 989898 for Birch Gold. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Donald Trump's election.
No!
It's the gift that keeps on giving. It's the Rob Carson Show.
It is the Rob Carson Show, doing the final show from the studio that I built in Old Town Alexandria, Virginia, right across the river from the swamp, 4.3 miles from the Capitol. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. And going to be doing the show from the Newsmax studio. Going to be moving today. Not looking forward to that. I have to strike the studio as soon as the show is over today, and then see my brothers and sisters in broadcasting. I've been doing this show over 6 years in a box by myself, and so it's going to be pretty cool. I'm sure I'll be a little socially awkward. It's like, hey, your face is nice. I'll do something like that, and they're like, what the hell? I just haven't been around people very often. Hi, my name's Rob. Hello. But anyway, it should be pretty cool. Spencer Pratt is taking the gloves off. He's said that there's no way he's going to, he's given up the possibility of becoming the mayor. Which is a shame, because I think one of these, awful individuals who are now competing for the mayor of L.A. And by the way, L.A. is just going to continue to burn. But I would love to see one of them be arrested or something. Wouldn't that be cool? And then have him back in the race again. But here he is talking about Skid Row and all of the people that this. Nitya Ramen Noodle. All of the votes that came in for her, 40,000 votes came in after Election Day, and that's about the same amount of people that are homeless. And in Skid Row, all of the votes went to her.
The fraud isn't here. It's here on Skid Row, where homeless people are paid a couple bucks for their ballots.
They give you $2 to vote? Yeah, we do the street. We show something. Did they come down here and try and tell you to vote?
Yes.
They told you who to vote for?
Yes.
Since I'm voting your way, can I get a plate? You know what I mean?
It's here, where socialist street animals go door to door and violate the ballot harvesting laws.
Yep.
People bring up the old communist adage often attributed to Stalin, saying, it's not who votes that counts, it's who counts the votes. No, this is the modern era of fraud. They've gotten wise. The modern communist agrees with the old communist, but just the first part. It doesn't matter who votes. It doesn't matter if it's a drug zombie being paid for their ballot. It doesn't matter if it's a DSA socialist street animal filling out your ballot. It doesn't matter if it's a blue-haired intern at a Nithya Raman-funded NGO filling out the ballots. The bank vault is wide open. The cameras have been removed, and there's no way to count the money.
The Democrat Party is the people who lead the Democrat Party are evil. Across the country, they are. They're evil. The people who lead the Democrat Party are pure evil. This is why the Democrat Party is doing a death spiral into hell. And the Platner candidacy, excuse me, candidacy is a prime example of Democrats, the Democrat whatever machine, consultancy machine, chooses someone who fits the template of what they think is a, I guess, masculine man, whatever, and don't do any vetting because they're so bloody out of touch with every decent human being in America. No good and decent man would run for office in the Democrat Party. No sane man, father, husband, who is in good standing, who's a churchgoer, who has common sense, who's hardworking, would possibly want to soil their reputation by becoming an office holder for this Democrat Party. And they are going down in flames, guys. They are freaking going down in flames. Here is, I had one more bite from Spencer Pratt, because Pratt says there is hell is coming for Democrats. Let me grab it. I don't know why. Here it is. Justice is coming, according to Spencer Pratt.
You need the fraudsters to start catching charges. For that to happen, you need proof. That's what investigators do. They turn evidence into proof with a robust investigation. You think it's a coincidence that 20 FBI agents suddenly descended on Skid Row to investigate vote fraud? Why do you think they were there? You don't get evidence by going to rallies or storming the ballot processing center. You get evidence by doing real work. And the first rule of criminal investigation is you do not talk about it. If I have to be the kamikaze kamikaze pilot to finally get this fixed, so be it. There's a right way and a wrong way to do this. The right way isn't easy, but it ends with commie animals in handcuffs. I will restore faith in our elections if it's the last thing I do. And to all you fraudsters out there, we've been watching you, and justice is coming.
Oh, brother, I hope so. Man, I really, really do hope so. I'm just so done with these animals. And you know what? We've had this 10-year temper tantrum, Antifa, and all this nonsense, firebombing America, trashing America, and now you got these Democrat socialists, spoiled little children with no life experience, and they think they're going to take over our country. We will go to war before that happens. If they want to start it, we'll end it. They're talking about they're going to take over. No, you're not. You're not. There are too many people who worked their rear ends off to get everything they have and had to scrape everything they had to maybe make it to retirement, maybe have a little extra, and they busted their butts for it. And we are not about ready to turn our businesses over to the state. We are not about ready to turn over our lives and be ruled by you little worthless pieces of garbage. That's what I got to say. That's all I'm going to say about it. I think we need, let me see here. I think we need some comedy. I think we need Bernie Sanders singing about Graham Platner.
I would really call Bernie Sanders to apologize for pushing this kind of predator.
Chuck Schumer and I, we back this guy. Graham Platner and his Nazi tattoo.
Doesn't get lower than this.
We weren't enthused by women abused by Platner, though we knew it was true.
They would elect Satan in.
We have no shame, except no blame, though we know that it was wrong. It's a safe bet, folks will forget, their memories are not that long. Graham had friends in Democrat places, even though there were many cases made against Graham.
There you go. That is brand new from Jim Gossett. Go to patreon.com. Jim Gossett Comedy. Help a brother out. He's an enormous genius. All right, we're going to take a break. Tony. Christian Toto, HollywoodandToto.com joins us next. Don't go anywhere.
The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus.
The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus. In a world of espionage, truth is a moving target and every decision carries a dangerous consequence. This new mission explores what it means to live as a double agent, twice the lies, twice the risk. The lines between ally and enemy blur like never before, and survival depends on trusting no one. Starring Michael Fassbender, Jeffrey Wright, Jodie Turner-Smith, and Richard Gere. Don't miss The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus.
I always accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative. With me there is no in between. State of the Union scored, approval rate how it has soared. Democrats cannot afford to take me for granted anymore. Inflation's low, employment's high, the Dow Jones, it is headed for the sky. Borders secure, illegals aren't jetting in. That's why I accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative. With me there is no in between.
Hey guys, it's Carson for Ghost Bed. Do you really want another summer like last summer, barely sleeping because you were too hot all night? People blame summer heat for bad sleep when it really may be their mattress trapping heat. And if you already sleep hot, summer only makes it worse. That's why I switched to Ghost Bed. Helps keep you cool all night, no waking up sweaty, tossing and turning, or throwing the covers off at 2 a.m. Cooling tech is built into every mattress. It's not some expensive upgrade you have to pay extra for. Hot sleepers are some of GhostBed's happiest customers. Read the reviews. You get incredible support, less stiffness, deeper sleep, more rested mornings. I got my GhostBed about 6 months ago, and it changed my life. GhostBed gives you 101 nights to try it at home. You can sleep on it all summer long and feel the difference for yourself. How many more summers are you going to waste on bad sleep? GhostBed is currently having their 4th of July sale, offering my audience an extra 10% off. Go to ghostbed.com/Carson. Use the promo code Carson. That's ghostbed.com/Carson, promo code Carson. For 250 years, Americans have believed in one powerful idea, that we were meant to live free. Free to work hard, free to move, free to enjoy life without being held back. But if everyday aches and pains are slowing you down, might be time to declare your independence from pain. I take Relief Factor. There's a reason why at my age I'm able to crush it at the gym and ride 30 miles on a mountain bike on Saturday mornings. Relief Factor. It's 100% drug-free, research-based formula designed to help your body fight inflammation, one of the root causes of pain. It's not a quick fix or a temporary mask. It works from inside out at the source. Relief Factor was created so people could get back to living life on their terms, walking, working, exercising, enjoying the moments that matter. This year, as we celebrate 250 years of American independence, take a stand for your own freedom. To commemorate, they're offering a special patriotic price, just $17.76. Yeah, your $17.76 3-week quick start is ready for you. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4-RELIEF. ReliefFactor.com or 800-4-RELIEF.
Now back to the Rob Carson Show, presented by Paramount Plus.
It is the Rob Carson Show. We are trying to get a hold of Christian Toto. Not sure exactly what's going on. It's California. They, might be burning, for God's sake. We have no idea. No, actually, I think he lives in Colorado now. Anyway, we'll see about getting him on. If not, there's plenty of other stuff to talk about. I think this is wonderful, by the way. The Marco Rubio is bringing together like 60 countries. They're going to go after Antifa. They're declaring war on Antifa. This is so gigantic. This is so gigantic. And Donald Trump is declaring war on communism. I think the world has had enough of this globalist movement. Great Britain has had enough of this globalist movement, this Islamist movement, and we're taking the country. I told you, you may recall when Donald Trump was running for president again in 2024. I said when he wins, patriotism, joy, and faith are going to sweep the globe. Absolutely going to sweep the globe, and I think we are in. As I said, we are the reaction to the action of evil in the world, and evil is run roughshod. And I was talking to somebody last night. Who the hell was talking about last night? I said that we don't need to live in darkness anymore. We don't need to live in darkness. There's no reason for it. Washington D.C. was a crap hole when I moved here a year ago. None of the fountains worked. They were being used as latrines. There was a massive homeless encampment right across from the Christopher Columbus statue in front of Union Station. There was a massive homeless encampment there, and the fountain was being used as a latrine for the homeless. DuPont Circle was a mess. Nobody in their right mind would go to DuPont Circle. I've been there several times since I moved here. Now there are families having picnics there, and they're throwing Frisbees. All of the fountains in Washington, D.C. are working, and they're full of water. I was down in front of the National Archives. There's a big fountain in the National Archives. There's a place you can dine outdoors. There's some sculptures. And it was joyous. It was joyous. It was clean. Everyone is polite. I've been to I went down to the Cherry Blossom Festival with some friends of mine, and it was spotless. It was like Disney World clean. I went on the Metro, and I had not ridden the Metro in probably 12, 15 years, something like that. All of the Metro operators were courteous and wonderful. What? They were. They went out of their way to be helpful. Oh, and then of course we are finding out, that the left hates this so much that they are, vandalizing. They're hating what Donald Trump is doing, and only demonic people do that. Only demonic people would tear down or lie or mislead or condemn the beautification of a city for politics. And I'm so bloody done with it. I was thinking about this. I'm tired of suffering fools. I'm not talking about fools who suffer. I'm tired of me having to suffer fools. I'm not going to put up with it anymore. I'm not going to put up with nonsense. I'm not going to put up with my daughter can be a boy and a boy can be a girl and they compete in sport. I'm not going to suffer fools anymore. When I moved here, I remember months ago, I went down to Old Town Alexandria. It's a very leftist enclave. It's very snotty, elite in some areas. And yet there are still a lot of Gadsden flag license plates in the state of Virginia. And I was down there, and these morons were down there. Well, first of all, I was sitting in an outside restaurant and a patio, and these anti-Israel, pro-Hamas protesters walked by. And they've got Hamas and Palestine flags and all of these signs about whatever. And they started to come into the area for dining and hand out their propaganda. And I got out of my chair and I said, "You get your asses out of here. You are not welcome here. This is private property. Get out of here." And shooed them away like splashing holy water on vampires. Haven't seen them since. Have since gotten to know a lot of the members of this place. It's an artist enclave called the Torpedo Factory. Most of them insufferable leftists, including this jackweed who puts like 8647 and Charlie Kirk was whatever on his windows in his art studio. He's a complete ass. I have these. It's really funny. These little. They look like $100 bills. And you fold them in half, and it looks like a $100 bill. And you open it up, and inside it has a picture of Donald Trump smiling. It says, "Trump is your president." And I go down and I fold that in half, and I kick it under his door to think it's a $100 bill. And then he opens it up and go, and I do that all the time just because he's such a jackweed. But a lot of the Jewish artists in that building are terrified. In 2026, there are Jewish people who are terrified, Jewish artists who are terrified. I met with them. We had coffee. It was like the French underground. It really was. It's crazy. And I said, I'm not going to speak in hushed tones. I'm not going to suffer fools anymore. I went down to King Street. It's a beautiful street. There's buskers down there. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. And all of a sudden, this little carload of morons, leftist morons, holding, printed out banners, hands off Iran, shrieking through bullhorns about America is, whatever we are, colonial, or we're whatever the hell we are. And I went in, I got in their faces. And these children are there. One of the girls has a ring pop. I used to buy them for my daughter when she was 5. And she's got a ring pop. I said, "You're a child. You're an ignorant child." And, of course, one of them was barking at me in the bullhorn. I took none of that. And then I went over to the 2 adults, probably in their 40s, and I said, "You should be ashamed of yourselves for doing this." They didn't know what the hell was going on. And when I was finished, I walked over to the side and I shooed them out of there. They left. They're gone. They've never been back. I said, there are families down here. There are buskers down here trying to make a living. You have no right to be here. You have no permit to be here. And you're breaking the noise ordinance. You're being loud, and nobody wants you here. I got applause from people. I got high fives from people. I wore a MAGA hat into D.C. in the Metro. When I first rode the Metro for the first time for the cherry blossoms, I had a woman get in my face and shriek at me for wearing it, and I went off on her. And then this young girl, she made this look like I have a small penis. You know, like, and I said, "You're a freaking child. You're a child." And I can't tell you how many people in D.C. would walk by me and say, "I really love your hat. I really love your hat." Yeah, I'm not going to suffer fools anymore, and I will not live in darkness, and you shouldn't live in darkness either. Here's Judge Janine talking about this American canoeist who was an Olympic athlete, and the charges against him for vandalizing the reflecting pool where Martin Luther King Jr. did his "I'd Have a Dream" speech.
This is a priority not only for the president, but for myself as well. So, today, a grand jury has returned a felony indictment against a defendant, David Hearn, for felony destruction of property, for which he faces 10 years in prison.
Yeah.
The indictment is in response to an incident that occurred on June 19th of 2026, in which the defendant Hearn ripped a piece of recently installed sealant on the bottom of the reflecting pool at the Lincoln Memorial.
Now, 9 people have been arrested doing this. These are children. These are adult children, and they need to do adult time. We don't need to live in darkness anymore. And we're discovering more and more that the Democrat Party is just that. Graham Platner is a dark soul. And the Democrat Party was fine with every single thing he did. He's a Frankenstein monster of awful. If you took every possible horrible thing about a man and you put it together in one monstrous figure, that is Graham Platner. And they were fine with him until he was going to lose. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show.
anti-law strikes in Mexico to stop drugs. It's okay with me.
Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. Boom, 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 boom. How. I love it. Big Head Todd of the Monsters. Their remake of that John Lee Hooker song, by the way. Spectacular. Absolutely amazing. I love it. One of the many groups that I enjoy. So you remember this guy who discovered Graham Platner? This creep who discovered Graham Platner?
How did you find Graham Platner?
Well, so, I mean, we went through thousands and thousands of prospects. Then, Leanne pulled up this video of this guy with an oyster farm.
My name is Graham Platner, and I live in Sullivan, Maine, the owner of Frenchman Bay Oyster Company.
And then
they've only sold $5,000 worth of oysters to his mom.
He pulled up his FEC.
He probably went to the grocery store and just got a bunch and then sold them to his mom for a little profit.
History and saw, the money he'd given to Bernie Sanders and, some other people. And that was enough information to know that we had the best prospect.
My God. Who would want to even converse? These are the men of the Democrat Party, by the way. These are the decision makers of the Democrat Party.
That we'd maybe ever seen.
How did you go about vetting him? And why did you?
We paid a nice firm a whole chunk of money and got some stuff back.
Did the vetting process turn up the tattoo that became so controversial?
No.
Oh, yeah. He has egg on his face. Daniel Moraf is his name. Barred from Summer Lee's campaign over sexual misconduct complaints. I can't imagine that he would be attracted to women. I'm just saying that just a little bit of that. What a creep supreme. Just a creep supreme. I told you about this. I told you about the Democrat Party and Kamala Harris voters. I said they were crazy cat ladies and the emasculated men in their lives. And guess what? I was right. That's exactly who is this. And the voters in Maine are crazy, liberal, academic cat ladies and the emasculated men in their lives. It's absolutely true. I was completely right. This guy, I used to live in Minnesota, in Minneapolis, 1995-ish to about 1999-ish. I'm glad I left because it was nuts then. It's super nuts now. There were some things you could like about Minneapolis when I lived there. I lived in Uptown to start because I was still like 28 years old, and then moved and bought my first house in South Minneapolis on Aldrich. Thank you. And it was okay. It was beginning to get insufferable, and now it's just terrible. And now it's overrun by Somali gangs, and the FBI needs to move in there, the DOJ, and they need to find all of these gang members, denaturalize, and deport them back to Somalia 1,000%.
A number of shootings and a homicide over the 4th of July weekend involving Somali gangs. On Wilson Street in Minneapolis, the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office says a Wilmer soccer coach was killed as part of Somali gang violence, but the problem didn't start there.
This last weekend we were at the Juice Time in Arden Hills. There was 300 young Somali kids there, and some of them were gangsters, and we had a number of us law enforcement officers there that curtailed their activity, but 2 hours later they were shooting someone over in northeast Minneapolis, same group.
Fletcher and his investigators say Somali gang violence is growing fast and spans the metro with 12 Somali gangs from Minneapolis and St. Paul to St. Cloud to Apple Valley and Burnsville.
Wow.
Ramsey County tracking the violence within the Somali community. The majority of it is gun violence.
Yes, we had an incident over the weekend in Minneapolis where an innocent young man from Woodbury was shot, and he's in the hospital right now fighting for his life. And it's causing a lot of problem for.
Yeah, unbelievable. If Kamala Harris were the president, we'd not know about any of this, all of this fraud, all of this stuff. Can you imagine where we'd be right now if Kamala Harris were the president of the United States? The border would be wide open. We would be on the verge of losing everything. Iran would have a nuclear weapon. I'll bet you anything, freedom of speech on the web would be wiped out. They would do just like they did in 2020, wiping out conservative speech. It would have been a dystopian and terrible place, and thank God we beat that wretched, awful, unintelligent, untalented, unskilled woman. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. But fortunate for us, the Democrat Party did not learn anything from the defeat. That's the best thing about it. We should consider ourselves fortunate. After the election, when she lost both houses of Congress, the Electoral College, and the popular vote, generally you learn from a defeat and you go in the opposite direction. I mean, it's flabbergasting. But the Democrat Party, or at least part of it, has decided they're going to do a suicide mission, and they're going to overrun us somehow with soy boys and crazy cat ladies and usher in communism. And we have been fighting this for 10 years. As I have said with regard to you and me, we are patriotic Americans. We are well-armed intellectually and physically. And they really picked the worst year to do this, the 250th anniversary of our birth. They thought they'd softened us up with carpet bombing, tearing down our institutions, tearing down our history, DEI, CRT, all of this nonsense. They thought we were softening up for a takeover. We're not. We're battle-hardened. We're not battle-weary. And so, as I say, overwhelm them with joy, patriotism, and faith. I'll handle the mockery and ridicule, and then we will begin Chapter 2 of the Trump's second presidency, and we can really start kicking some butt. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show. Yeah, I'm talking. Hold on. Hi, kids. How are you? So anyway, I'm moving to the Newsmax studios here shortly. I'm going to be striking the studios, we call it. This is kind of bittersweet. I built this studio. I wasn't able to utilize it like I wanted to because just so much stuff came up. But I don't regret what I've done here. I don't regret it. It was a trial run for what is coming when I moved to Newsmax. So I'm quite excited about it. And it's going to get really big. Hello, everybody. Who's watching here? Kathy Donan, thank God for Trump. Somebody says, I'm in an Uber. Jung is on his GPS is in Chinese. That's Prane. Prane, really? Wow. Interesting. Well, a lot of times when I'm in Uber, I'll get my Google Translate and speak in their language. When I was in New York at the Talkers Convention, a lot of Russians, and I spoke in Russian to them, and it was pretty cool, actually. But I've used Spanish. I've used other languages, Ukrainian, which is Russian. I mean, they speak Russian. A lot of them do. Let's see here. Dim's just doubled down on crazy. I know, Rita in Tennessee. And we should look at this as an enormous blessing because we're not going to be ruled, right? We're not going to be ruled. I'm not going to be, and again, like I said, I'm not going to suffer fools. I'm not going to suffer these fools. Not going to suffer them. I love you, Rob, Pat Carr. Stop it. I love you too. I do finish the show with "Don't Catch the Stupid." You are absolutely right. All right, Wild Bill. Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
About 3.5 here.
Diggy. I was trying to decide what to end the show with today because, it's been a long week. It's been an absolutely long week, and getting ready to do this move here. It's just been... I was confiding in my friend Brian, who is my producer at WCBM Radio, our anchor station in Baltimore. And by the way, thank you to all of our wonderful radio stations around the country. And we are growing. We're going to be growing those stations. I just talked to Christian Toto. He says, I'm talking to the cops. We'll explain later. Okay, whatever. Might have gotten pulled over. But I want to thank all of our affiliates. We do have a new one, WCGA, in Georgia. We will be welcoming them officially on Monday. But we're really glad to have them. The we are hitting at the right time. I think, I remember Rush Limbaugh when he hit in 1987. He started, he was 37 years old. And he came along at the right time, right place, right skill set, right life experience. It was perfect. It was like Elvis. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but no, it really did. He came along at a perfect confluence of events. Same way with Glenn Beck right after 9/11, to a lesser degree, but certainly very close. I think that I've waited these many years and have arrived at a confluence of events with the live stream, with podcasting, and with the marriage with local radio stations around the country. And so I like to say I walk in his footsteps. No one will ever fill his shoes. But I think I'm here at a fortuitous time and a providential place. And you guys are with me. So I'm moving to the Newsmax studios. We will be broadcasting on Monday. You won't notice any difference. It'll look exactly like I am, except for I will be in the Washington, D.C. studios of Newsmax. Yes, WGCA 1100 AM, Woodbine, Georgia, lady, serving the Brunswick market in Fernandina Beach, Florida, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. That's our new affiliate. We love you guys. Thank you for carrying us. We'll have you on Monday. We'll make a big deal out of it because we love you and we're proud to be on there. So without further ado, I'm going to strike this studio, take it apart, move it into the heart of the swamp, knowing that you are there and you and the Almighty guided me here. So it's doing a cannonball into the deep end. That's the only thing I know how to do. That's what I'm going to do. Wish me luck. God bless you. America's founded Donald Trump. Watch my TV show, Rob Carson's What in the World, this weekend on Newsmax, 3 o'clock Sunday, 8:30 Sunday night. And until Monday when I'm in D.C., do not catch the stupid. I love you guys.
The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus.
Information. Truth. Is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.